got him a man.
Good morning, and happy Saturday. I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you for tuning in, talking with Tonya on this beautiful Saturday day. Creme races. I did the creme walk yesterday. And to all those people out there who did it, congratulations. The walk, the run, the teddy bear trot, all of it, because you are the real MVPs.
It's over.
They should almost still be. No, it usually winds up it starts early, like 6:30 a.m. Good morning, Mickey. How are you?
All right, good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm still on injury reserve.
You're killing me. Wait, how long ago did you have the procedure?
A week from today. Really at 2 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, 1:30, it'd be a full week.
Wait a minute.
I'm all the way down to it. At 1 o'clock, it'll be a full week.
Wait a minute. Mickey, you still in pain and still complaining?
Heck yeah. I'm on injury reserve.
Wait a minute. Now, what would the world be like if men had to have babies?
I keep telling you, wouldn't be nothing.
Y'all know what women go through? Do you know? Y'all don't know. Listen, I need everybody to click like, share, and subscribe. Click like, share, and subscribe. And I probably need to do the same thing. So listen, this week, I don't know. My head feel like it's been on the swivel for some reason. There's been a lot going on all over, and especially in Flint. And I can't keep up with even with the activities that we have. I'm sharing too. So please be patient with me for just a moment. As we put these items in. So listen, y'all. I did the creme walk, and we did it in honor of my cousin Nicholas Harrison. Your girl was honestly trying to dip out to go have a margarita. And the snitch told on me. I'm like, man, I done been here I had a long day. And he told I had to do the entire walk. I thought I would go there and, talk to everybody beforehand, take some pictures. No, your girl had to do the walk too. And it was an honor. My Aunt Beverly, she Beverly Harrison, she planned it. And it was nice to see all the people who came out to support him and to walk. And that was one of the things that he did before he passed away. He lost the battle with the disease that he had, and he passed away last year. And matter of fact, the day of his funeral was the shortest show I ever did, because I think I did like 45 minutes. And I was like, I got to go, y'all. I got to get to the funeral. When I got to the funeral, because I was running a little late, I literally had to park on like Dayton and Orange Street. I was so far from the church, from Christ Fellowship, that's where it was. There was nowhere to sit. There wasn't even standing room. There wasn't even standing room in the hallway, along the aisles, or even in the they have I guess a meeting room. It was just so many people, and he was loved. He was loved. And so the walk that was done was in honor of my first cousin, Nicholas Harrison, and to celebrate him, because he did it last year on a walker and in his wheelchair. So it was to him. So this is to you, Nick. This is to you, Harrison Strong. Harrison Strong. So, okay. So I'm going to take this medal out because this thing is a little heavy. I'm so proud. So listen, Mickey, I walked in here this morning with my sign. And Mickey was complaining. He was like, she almost was watching the DNC. The DNC was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Each night, and it was entertaining, just the energy and the vibe. Mickey's still over there sharing, I guess. You got to get it up. So as you start going, I'm gonna start looking at before we get, because I'm gonna put it on Nicholas's picture. I was hoping the elevator wasn't broke today, because I would still be down on the first floor. I'd be like, I'm broadcasting from the hallway, because I think my legs are hurting a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm gonna show those are some. That's the snitch right there, y'all. I was trying to get a margarita, and he snitched on me. Mickey, you got me all light, bright up in here.
I think somebody came in and went to mess with the light the other day.
You got me on. Yes, I do. Your girl need a tan. So why you playing? Listen, the top of my feet is the same color as the bottom of my feet almost. Okay. Okay. So listen. That's the snitch. I was really trying to like leave the little course to go have some margaritas. He was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Shh, I'm trying to go out. It's been a long week." I'm like Mary J. Blige song. It's been a hard week. What? My heart. I want to live my life. And he told. So I'm glad I finished the entire race, and it was in honor of my cousin to do that. And then do we have a picture of him that's my Aunt Beverly. Let's go. She is awesome. Aunt Beverly is just everything. She is just a wonderful person. She serves her community. She works with the youth with her church at Christ Fellowship, and she planned it. She did everything she could, for her son. The love that a mother had. I mean, just the love. That's my Aunt Beverly Harrison. And then let me do the sign where it shows Nick, because a lot of people. Nick was popular. He was popular. Um, and so it's the sign, but it's got that's him. So that is Nick on the picture, and where it says Harrison Strong, Nick Harrison, Nicholas Harrison. And a lot of people know him from his father, my uncle Nicky, who was a firefighter, black firefighter for the city of Flint, starting in the 70s. They didn't have a lot of black firefighters. And so when affirmative action helped to get black firefighters onto the Flint Fire Department, my uncle Nicky was one of them. And so that's my cousin, his son, Nick, that we were celebrating yesterday. He could not be here. He lost his battle for his life. And so we did the walk in honor of him and for him. So, okay. So Mickey, let's talk about the DNC, because I was just, your girl is loving love Michigan for Harris and Walls. I love Tim Walls. He's a coach. He talks a lot of junk. I like that. I like that. I really do. I like that he has love of family. I love that too. I love the roll call. And we're going to I thought the best roll call was Georgia's. Little John said it all. And then they were being a little shady with the roll calls, comparing them, trying to compare them. But there just really was no comparison. The roll call for the DNC was off the chain. But let's scroll through. I see, Pat, before we get onto the DNC, which it was like a 3-4 day party. It was just, it gave me life. It gave me life. It gave me life. So we have on here, Mickey has got, I want to see the names because I saw Patrick Jean. Oh, we got okay. We got a lot to go down. Okay, I'm gonna read these quick. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Sabu. Good morning. And I guess I'm talking quick. Good morning, No Name. Y'all know I'm gonna wear that shirt, don't y'all? No name. Okay, I'm gonna have to look. I'll inbox it to City Hall. You can send it to City Hall. Listen, because I'm gonna wear it. Hey, No Name Bay. Is that what we doing? People come up with some original stuff. Good morning. Is that what we doing? Yes, that's what we're doing. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning. I ain't going. Good morning, Kathleen King. Yeah, Mickey moving slow with scrolling. Good morning, Meat Freaks Barbecue. Good morning, Reverend Frederick Powell. JWC called me at the, well, she wasn't the first person called me. My friend's gonna calling me at the crack of dawn. She called me. I think we were on the phone this morning for about an hour. And she was like, wake up. I'm like, I'm already woke. My clock went off at 5:30 because I was supposed to be, I had somewhere to be at 6:30 for the crib. I was already awake, already. She called talking about the crib. And just a little note for those that the crib runs through your neighborhood, you have to make preparations. There were people who were upset that didn't know that they shut the streets down. That's what they do. Y'all got to figure that out and work it out. And it's not the responsibility of the council people. We don't prepare that route. We don't. So, you have to, it's your responsibility to make sure when the cream come, it shuts the city down. It runs through her neighborhood. It runs all through my ward. It runs all through it. And so, we have a right, you have, residents have a responsibility too. So to know when it is, we can't tell them you can't run here. You can't do that. Wherever those blue lines are, that's where the crib runs. Okay. T from the D, Lil Mama, Jeff Johnson, Otis Johnson. Oh, laughing carrot. That's cute. And hey, Patrick Jean, Lasagna Larry, Keisha Denise, Miss Richburg, Sherry Allen, good morning. Kamala, Michelle Young. Michelle, I need to call you too. Beverly Biggs, good morning, Bev. Good morning, Jessica Stewart. So, good morning, Jasper. Did you take that on? Oh, okay. Okay. Good morning, Ronald. And I'm going to tear that last name up. Matura.
I call him Ronald M. That's why I stopped it at.
Okay, that's where you stop it at.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you. So listen, I felt energized by the DNC. This is the first time that I think my kid, I have a Gen Z child, and I have a millennial child. And then I think I'm a Generation X, and my parents are baby boomers. This is the first time all of us are agreeing on a candidate. Good morning, Cynthia Jarrett. Miss Jarrett, tell Papa I said good morning. Good morning, DeAndre. This is the first time that we have all agreed. Because when I was voting for Hillary, my daughters was walking around with shirts with Bernie Sanders and them darn mittens on, with them on. And so it's nice to see the energy. I mean, I was feeling the DNC. I'm like, they were talking smack. Hakeem Jeffries, when he said, he called Donald Trump, he's like, bro, he's like, Donald Trump is like being in a bad relationship, and he just keeps spinning the block, watching, checking out everything. He's like, bro, we broke up for a reason. I was like, I like that talking junk. I thought it was good. But you know what else was different for me? Were you really seeing? And I don't know if a lot of people noticed this. The amount of Black men that spoke. There was a lot of Black men spoke. And I thought that was really, it was good. You don't usually see a lot of Black male speakers in positions. You had the governor of Maryland, West somebody, I forget his last name. You had God, what? Because if you close your eyes, he sound like just like Barack Obama. What is it? Dang it, the Georgia. What's his name? The pastor. Why am I getting the brain freeze? Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Sheena B. Good morning, William Socrates. What is his name? The Black pastor. He had a hard. I got his TikTok. God.
What I'm talking about?
Warnock sounds like Obama. I mean, literally, if you close your eyes, he sounds like Obama. His voice. They had the Dixie Chicks on there. Oprah, look, skinny Oprah. skinny Oprah was on there. Oprah she's skinny now. She is skinny. Yep, Warnock. Thank you, Jasper Burt. Yeah, and thank you, Patrick Jean. And who else was on? There were so many good people. that spoke.
Hakeem Jeffrey, didn't he speak?
That's the one who said, "Bro, we broke up for a reason." Yes.
Yeah, Hakeem.
I mean, they were talking junk. I'm like, it's about time the Democratic Party is not being so soft. It is not the soft run me over party anymore. Then you had the Republicans came on there. The staffer just told it all, who worked for Trump for did she say how long?
This what she talking about, Westmoreland.
Yep, Westmoreland. Yep. He spoke. I mean, it was just so many great speakers. You know, Lexa, when Donald Trump staffer, and she says, "I'm a Republican," but he only looks out for himself. You had other governors, people from Arizona, saying, you know, country over everything, saying basically, we don't want a toddler in the White House. We don't want a toddler. D.L. Hughley, he spoke and he apologized to her. Did you see that one? Okay, well, he did. Let me break it down for her. Let me break it down. So D.L. Hughley was a speaker. He said he had believed a lot of the things that people said, that she had just incarcerated thousands of Black men. And he said for years he had said negative things about her. One day she called him up and said, "Come over." He came over to her house for dinner. She said, "Did you ever do any research to look at my record?" And he said, "No, I just went on what everybody was saying. I felt it was true." When 2000, was it 19 or was it 19 when she ran? There was the Republicans went against her and started falsifying her record. It wasn't true. You're gonna have to incarcerate some people. Look at her job. She was the attorney general. She was a prosecutor. I mean, you cannot say, you're going to have some problems. It's the same as, David Layton has had some problems, where someone was, I think, falsely put in. You've had Sheriff Swanson had an issue where he did stop and they talked with him with the removing you had to pay to talk. You couldn't do in-person visits. They had stopped it. And then they were charging you. They stopped that. And so I think when people autocorrect, so I think they said when her numbers got down to, it was nothing like the numbers that were stated at all. But they didn't talk about how the program she created to stop, that revolving door of prison, because it happens. I don't know how many cousins that I know got caught up in the drug business and they kept going back, because they get out, they can't find a job because they got a felony and they end up going back. But D.L. Hughley said, "I was wrong." She asked that I do a simple Google search. He says people should do a Google search and read her record. He said, "And I was wrong." He said, "I'm going to be man enough to apologize on this stage. I was wrong. I was wrong. I did not research it before I decided to tell people," and spoke about it and made jokes about it. So I think we have got to look at a person's record. And when we make a mistake, and once we know about it, correct it. But for him to do that on that stage, I thought that was awesome.
I can't do nothing but give him props for that.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, you should be man enough to be wrong. You should be man enough to correct it. So yeah, I got nothing but respect for him for that.
Me too, and that takes a lot to do it on that stage.
Yeah, shit, because millions was watching
that part, and I was tuned in. Okay, every day, every day. Yeah, and it takes a lot, and it's so easy because we want to believe, and we know that some of the Republicans, and not all of them, are good at making up stories. The remarks that Fox News, I forget her name, who made comments about Tim Wall's son, and Tim Wall's son does have some issues, and she made jokes. Like, look, lady, they will fight you over that. You don't make jokes about people who are disabled. You don't do that. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. So my favorite part of it, it was so many, but I'm gonna say the roll call. The roll call was off the hook. Now, the Republican, the RNC was not as great, didn't even compare, because the roll call for the Dems for every state was off the chain. So my favorite one, oh yeah, can you put that one up? And then we'll go to the roll call. It was Ann Coulter. So Ann Coulter, the terrible. She is terrible. So Ann Coulter made that, and the backlash that she's getting is everything she deserves.
Emotional moment.
It up so them for them.
The heartwarming sight of Tim Walz's 17-year-old son, Gus, and Coulter faces
son's emotional moment. And so him and his wife have been honest.
backlash after comment on Tim Walz's son's emotional moment.
And
The backlash.
Ann Coulter is trash. She's trash for that. You don't make fun. You know, you don't do that. You simply don't do that. There are so many people, and even if it's somebody that you don't like, there's people I absolutely do not like that, their children have issues. And as much as I dislike the parents, you'll never take a shot at the child. You don't do that. You don't take a shot at the child. You don't do that. You don't. And so is that a TikTok? Let's play that real quick, please. And I'm sorry, we got TikToks just make it so easy. And 810 Flint has made my life easy.
And Coulter faces backlash after comment on Tim Walz's son's emotional moment. The heartwarming sight of Tim Walz's 17-year-old son, Gus, weeping with pride during his father's vice presidential nomination speech quickly became a memorable moment of the convention. However, the positive sentiment took a turn on social media when conservative commentator Ann Coulter posted about Gus's emotional reaction on X, captioning it "Talk about weird." The backlash was immediate and fierce. Critics, including former Obama staffer Tommy Vietor, responded with scathing remarks. "I can see why a child loving their parents would feel foreign to you," Vietor posted. Many highlighted the cruelty of Coulter's jab, especially since Gus's parents have publicly shared that he has a nonverbal learning disorder, ADHD, and anxiety. Coulter's comment quickly trended on X, alongside Gus Walz and the phrase "he's 17." Though Coulter deleted the post, the online criticism continues. "Tim Walz's son just ripped my heart right out of my chest, Jesus," one X user captioned a video of the powerful moment.
Trash. She's just, am I unmuted? She's just trash. You simply don't do that. It was such a heartwarming, heartfelt moment, and we have to include all children. I remember they started being they would have you be inclusive courses to where kids used to be special education. You were in a special education room all day long. Now you have inclusive courses where they integrate them into the classrooms so that they can create, some normal standards, some normality in their lives. Because if you keep them in these classrooms, once they get out and they're graduate from high school, they don't know how to deal with other people who don't have learning disabilities. And so for him to have his son, I thought that him and his wife, I thought that was great. I thought that was wonderful. That they included every family member. I appreciated that part, and I think that they should have. And Ann Coulter along, but see, I think that the climate and the culture has been created. Good morning, Mama Quill. Good morning, Teresa. I think the culture and the climate has been created with Donald Trump. Remember, he talked about Megan, the reporter. She's bleeding from her, what, and Rosie O'Donnell is a fat pig. And when you get that type of language and it becomes no. This was the guy that they went on to elect as president, who bashed women. We grab them by the PUSS. Just vulgar. Now that's vulgarity. Okay. Let's be clear. That is vulgarity. And so, his language has become a culture. And so some of these people, they don't care what they say. They don't even care who they hurt. That your words can last a lifetime, and words matter. Words matter. So I want you to put up the one about Little John. I'm telling y'all, I was pumped. I was pumped. I was pumped when little. I'm like, wait a minute. I had to get up out my seat. I mean, I was literally about my seat like this when he was like, turn down for what? I was like, oh, it just the energy. Now the other one, now you compare it to the RNC, the RNC literally like you're not a hero of the dead party, okay? Of the dead party, okay? Because the DNC, they were turned up.
How do you cast your vote?
They were turned up. I even like that they had I didn't like John Legend singing Prince song. He didn't do it for me with Prince song. Sorry, John Legend. I know some of y'all might like John Legend. I just ain't never been a John Legend fan for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I ain't like John Legend singing Prince song. They could have got somebody else because Prince could make you, he could take your man and your woman. He would have a little lace top. He'd have on some little boots with a little heel, walking around. I'm like, Prince was a sexy guy and a musical genius. Prince was eccentric, but I love me some Prince. Now they had old stiff John Legend singing Prince song. Prince would jump up there, grab that guitar, jump down, do the splits. John Legend could barely spin around. It seemed like, I'm like, why they have John Legend singing Prince song? I'm like, they probably should have had Bruno Mars doing it. I like Bruno Mars. John Legend wasn't it. That shouldn't have been it. So my favorite person, and if y'all liked Little John, because we getting ready to play this, that was the one. And I'm like, where is this at? I'm like, not the hype song. They were so hype. So listen, Mickey, put that on.
Georgia, how do you cast your vote?
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight to officially nominate Kamala Harris for president. Fire, get loud, another round of shots. DNC, turn out for what? Turn out for what? We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. D.P. Harris, come to the wall. D.P. Harris, give it a wall. Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm a part of the hype party. Little John told that up. I'm like, they knew who to get. He hyped. It stayed hyped. It stayed hyped. When he came down there, turn down for what? Oh my God, Little John. Turn down for what? I was just, them when they start chanting, and we're not going back. We're not going back. I'm like, thank y'all for finally waking up the Democratic National Party. Thank y'all for waking up. Did you like Little John, Mickey?
I watched that part of it, but I don't really go for the theatrics. I like to listen to policy.
Did y'all hear that? He doesn't like the theatrics. He listens to policy. They had a whole lot of policy. The RNC was insulting. She doesn't look as good as me. She's not as smart as me. They talked about reproductive rights. They talked about, which is important, making sure that we all have a chance. When they said that we're not going back, they don't want to take the 2025. They brought out that giant book with almost everybody, that 2025 manifesto. Was it 925 pages? They kept it out. They brought it out. And yes, policy matters, but you can have some fun while you creating policy, Mickey. Okay. I'm not gonna let you ain't gonna poop on Little John. You got to get people interested. you got to come to them with something. Ain't nothing wrong with a little party. You can do policy and party. You can do the 2 P's, policy and party. Okay? Because they talked about policy. That was roll call. He ain't talking policy or roll call. Give us some numbers. That's what roll call. Give us them numbers. So they had the best. I thought Georgia, out of all the states, was the best. They had the energy. I hope that this continues to be like a tradition so that each state gets competitive, because you want to engage. Like I say, you cannot engage the Gen Zs and the Gen Zs and the millennials. This ain't just for us. We got to get them interested to talk about policy. We have to get them interested. And you can party and have politics, because I'm telling you, at that election day, them numbers come in, she win, your girl gonna bust some moves, okay? I'm popping bottles. Because I think the thought of having a Trump presidency is too much. It's so much that people are saying they're not even, when Republicans are leaving their own party, they got the Nikki Haley for Harris. And I think she got 1.5 million. I saw that in the news today. The Nikki Haley for Harris, because they're saying he's so bad that we are doing country over policy. He has 34 felonies. 34. That's a 3 and a 4. You get in Michigan, is it 3 strikes and you out?
That's California too, ain't it? 3
Yeah, some of the states are 3 strikes you out. He got 34 and still running for president. So my thing is, you can have a good time and do policy. You got to make it interesting. That's why kids lose interest in school. You got to teach and be interesting. Make it interesting. So let's talk about Sheriff Swanson. I've never did or had him on. People were, I was excited to see him. He was really inspiring. It was good, all up to the point where he said crime was down. It might be Genesee County as a whole. Flint, it's not. We have an uptick. Matter of fact, there was a shooting last night in my ward, the Party House. Y'all seen the one where the guns, I played the gunshot. And so, I mean, that one it was good to see. Who else was anyone else in there from Flint that spoke? From Michigan? You had Slockin. Oh, Big Gretch spoke. She did a good job. The people, what was it they said? She said that our water is clean. And here's my problem with the misrepresentation of Flint. Who we have locally is not representing us.
Right.
And so when our mayor and our state reps are not, and you see, they're not a part of that party. They wasn't. They was there. They not heard. I was told they went down to the delegate section, and the delegate section said, "Y'all seats up there. Y'all see them y'all seats up there. Ain't no seats down here for y'all. Y'all's up there." But he dissed the DNC. He talked about them, and then we'll play that video where he was not satisfied because they didn't endorse him for Congressman Kilday's seat. They didn't want you. And he was upset because they didn't endorse him, and that, look, it's kind of like, oh, wait a minute, well, who Hakeem Jeffries, look, bruh, they didn't want you. You're spinning the block like like a bad relationship and they broke up. Neely, stop spinning the block. The DNC don't want you. They don't want you. So I think that, when we talk about bringing everybody together, I hate that Flint's representation is not there. There was a lady got on there and talked, and she had a butterfly dress on. They were talking about getting lead lines replaced and getting them repaired. We still don't have all service lines replaced. We don't have restorations done. Why don't we have people fighting for us? This is why this election coming up in November is so important. It's so important. We have to have people who support our interests. If the mayor of Flint had did his job right, he would have been up there on that stage. He ain't fighting for the people. He's not genuine, and people see it and they know it. And the thing is, I'm like, he should be up there, or his wife. You fighting for the people. They have not been at any, and there's so many engagements going on here every day. Breakfast and watch parties for Kamala Harris walls, and they're not a part of it. They should be leading the way. But when you diss and talk about the DNC, they're not going to have you up there. It's so much stuff that's bringing people together. So I have an event to go to today. I had one, was it yesterday? I done forgot. It's something almost every day, because you have to involve it. And here was the thing. I am seeing young people getting excited. One lady, she brought her whole family, and her son had to be in his 30s. He was loud, but he was excited. He was pumped up, and then they're registering people to vote. And that's what it's about.
No, you're right about that.
If you want a different candidate, get out and start pushing them. But we cannot say when this is what we have. We got two choices, really. Who's going to be president with the electoral college vote? Right. And so you either get Trump or you get Harris.
No, I'm with you on. I just be talking junk when I be saying, because I'm voting Democratic, because I do agree with that. I just feel like we didn't have the right representation. I'm not far from Michigan, and I do agree with you with that.
We don't.
We didn't have really the right representation, and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep saying that, because anytime Gretchen Whitmer can go on a Breakfast Club and say the water is safe, and don't nobody, and like Eric May say they didn't check her about that.
That the people don't, and this is what as I travel and I talk to people, and I say Flint is still broken. People don't know. Our mayor hasn't said anything. The state rep hasn't said anything. There's money out there that they're repairing all this. I played, and I think it was a video, because Jan Marie had sent it to me, and then she sent me an arc. She has a lot of reading. And Detroit is saying, we don't have this problem yet, but we're fixing lines per week. We want to get up to fixing 200. We want to work up to fixing 250 service lines a week. They're doing the work now. Where's our mayor? He done sold us out. Sold us out. His voice should be so powerful. He should be saying, look, you broke Flint. You gonna fix Flint. And then did you see the post where he said him and his wife are a power couple?
I saw it. Disrespectful. I thought it was.
I was like, this the first, and I'm gonna read it to y'all, because I thought, how dare you? You don't even have representation. He should have been working so close with the DNC that we should have an overflow of money, projects, infrastructures. Right. We still ain't fixed the damn roads here. We still ain't fixed the damn service lines here. We should have so much money to fix Flint. We didn't break Flint. They need to fix Flint. And they are mute, silent. I was like, somebody sent me that. And I'm like, what in the, you wrote your very own, let me see. Man, my residents be sending me all kind of stuff. I'm gonna read this first sentence to y'all, because it and then watching the entire thing, I got angry, because we have to elect people who care, who have a vision to bring everybody. We have to be inclusive of everybody. And this is what the DNC is doing. They are inclusive of Republicans. They're like, yeah, bring your votes. We want those too.
If you're trying to win, why not?
That part. They're inclusive of the LGBTQ community. They are inclusive in understanding the issue with single moms. They're understanding that we want the border. We're going to secure the borders, but how do we still have to have, this is the melting pot. How do we bring people in legally? And I have a refugee apartment complex in my ward.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. And I had said it months ago. I said, he got a lot of money. I think it's going to be a refugee one.
Wow.
And it is. Refugees are staying there. And so, and it's in my, and I don't even think they have occupancy certificate, but there's a refugee. So we knew they had to be placed someplace. And so when we look at, what our representation is, if you have a mayor and a state rep, we should be rolling. The young lady whose house was shot up should never have to go to the mayor's house to beg for help. We should have signing bonuses that should be so great. You sign on to be a police officer here, we're going to give you a $20,000 bonus for 5 years so we can get things to where they're manageable. We have a gang problem and no gang task force. None. So he writes, and this is what they sent me. This is under his Mayor Sheldon Neely page on Facebook. It says, Mid-Michigan political powerhouse couple, Sheldon and Cynthia Neely, endorsed Kamala Harris for president of the United States. Now he's trying to bite the coattail of this. Man, they ain't trying to play with you. You diss them. They won't know parts about you.
Did you like what it said, mid-Michigan?
Mid-Michigan. I'm like, y'all from Flint. You're not mid-Michigan. Flint. Look, he should be having a big Flint shirt on, something to represent. I like, who was the union guy who put Trump name and then put scab over it? I'm like, come hard or go. Well, come hard or go home. I was like, that is crazy. We had no representation about. You had the sheriff up there. We had who else? We had was it Slotkin? Gretchen. I don't know what somebody.
Sheriff Swanson. Yeah, who else was it? One more.
So Michigan should have, if our mayor and state rep were, they don't even show up at these events, y'all. They're not even there, and they're all over Michigan. They're not showing up at any of them.
They shouldn't be able to come up there along with, but I understand the politics.
Our water can't drink from the tap. You're right.
Yeah.
You not fighting for the people. And I'm gonna tell you this: as we start to get in this season of people running, and I'm seeing how some people kind of moving, it tickles me. If a person ain't talking about the number of children we have had shot and the gun violence, I'm not dealing with them. If you're silent, you've been silent since you're an elected official now, or have been, and you have not said anything about these children getting shot, the gun violence in our community, the hit list with 12 kids, and then I think 5 of them were killed on that hit list. Oh, I'm gonna call you out. If you ain't talked about how we don't have money to pay, we don't have money to pay for our trash. If you've been silent on every issue that's been in the city of Flint, you ain't raised your voice, picked up a sign, you have not dared to venture or to put your foot into the murky waters of what's happening to Flint, if you have not said fix our water, if you have remained silent, whoever, whatever, with these new seats coming up, because in 2 years, you don't have any business running, because I'm going to call you out. It's too much going on in our community. It's too much. And for people to be silent, people want to hear happy news. I do too.
Yeah, but it
ain't all happy news.
What you just said, and I just read a comment from Brother Patrick. It did make sense. Like he said, I'll put it up there for the people that might don't see. Said the fact that the state rep and the mayor is in the same household is screwing up.
Say that again.
It's mind blowing.
Say that again.
That the state rep and the mayor is in the same household and screwing up is mind blowing.
And it is. It is mind blowing because you got so much. They called themselves the Mid-Michigan Power Couple. Y'all city is a mess. I don't have that kind of power. Exchange of power be totally different. They shouldn't be able to rest at night. All these children getting shot. The last children that were shot in the last 30 days, I think we had 9 children shot? Maybe seven. And I'm gonna be honest, I had to withdraw and pull myself back from some of that. But the last was a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old, then the 12-year-old, and then we had the 14 and 15-year-old. I mean, the number of children, and I'm not gonna get off of this because it is not to be cliche. The children are our future. They are our future. And when we sitting up saying, and these kids literally at home, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, in their beds, getting shot. The same thing with Liddell Lewis stating that those kids that got shot, they wouldn't have gotten shot if they had gotten one of those summer jobs. You sound ridiculous. What child gonna be out in the street at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning? They were doing what they were supposed to be doing, which was at home in the bed, sleeping when somebody shot them. That part that she did not get and decided to use and exploit that and try to bully people into voting for that BS summer program, and them kids was going back to school in 2 weeks. And then gonna say, and a lot of them come from maybe poor homes, they can help pay the bills. It is a child's position to be a child, not to be the adult to pay the bills. That is the problem with that mindset when the parents are allowing these kids to pay the bills because the kids think they're the parents and they can talk back and do what they want to do. And then the kids out here selling drugs, running credit card scams, and the parents is taking in and bringing in the money. You don't allow your children to take care of your household. That was ridiculous. Liddell said that. I wish let my child, 3 of them, they all grown now, would have came home with something I didn't pay for. Matter of fact, my nieces and nephews, I didn't play that, and I still don't play that. Right. I don't play that with them. They know Aunt Tonya will give you the business. And look, I might be 55. I will knock you down. Talk back if you want to.
That's what I didn't understand, like how you see some of these kids. Because at the age they at now, it's too late. Like when they this, but how did you let it get to this? We never asked to me, I think we do a lot of branch and not root knowledge. Meaning, how is you scared of your child at 15? What happened between from stages 0 to 10? Because somewhere in between, you was letting him she get away with this. You know?
It becomes easy money. It's easy money to where, it may take off some of the burden, but that's where we have to start saying, especially in our Black communities. And I'm not even going to say Black anymore because I'm seeing it in the white communities because drug overdose, fentanyl is a dangerous drug. It is a dangerous drug. And so when you are a single mom and you need some help, you often don't know what to do. But we got to start saying, number one, our children, which when we have good leadership, they should be fighting for lead court. We should have lead court. 237 children were new victims only in the city of Flint of sexual abuse, criminal sexual abuse during COVID. 237 children, new cases. Genesee County, it was over 2,000. And so when we look at this, who's protecting the kids? Everybody want to go home, shut their door, and don't want to be involved. We can't afford to not be involved anymore. You got nieces and nephews. You have a responsibility to help. The village is not the village. The village has got to start coming back together. We have people, everything is so split. And this is one thing that I feel and love the energy of the DNC is because who was in there trolling?
I don't know where it was. I ain't stopped nothing because I was too busy reading the comments.
What I like about the DNC is they're saying we all have to work together. Republicans for Kamala, Nikki Haley folks for Kamala, LGBTQ for Kamala, single moms, single dads for Kamala. We have got the country saying country over everything. Where else you going? And I didn't travel a lot out of the country. Where else you gonna live and do what you want to do? You can, start something. You can now take And used to be thinking you couldn't smoke marijuana. You can own a marijuana dispensary now. We got to start pooling our money together. Flint has got to come together, but it's so hard because if you don't have leadership, like Patrick Jean said, they're not leading. Our leaders are not leading. They are leading us the wrong way, but it's not to where our lives are better. Flint lives are not better. We should have lead court. We should have programs for the children and for the parents, not only just pushing it and advertising public service announcements.
Right.
Every child is not meant to go to college.
Right.
I got one child, thank God, he gonna tell me like it was a secret last year. Mom, you do know I never liked school. I said, I know you didn't. Your grades reflected that. But he's a truck driver. He's working on getting his own business, and he makes over $100,000 a year, over $100,000 a year with truck driving. He went to truck driving school. He was not going to go to college unless he could take me with him and I do his homework. But that would be the only one. He was not interested as a child. I mean, I remember they were outside the window working on our lawn when we had built our house, and he had he's 28 now, and he was sitting in the window. He liked machinery. He loved to watch the house getting built as a little boy. That was not his thing. Books, they had to have pictures in them. He could care less. Now, my daughter, avid reader, she went to U of M. My youngest son going to U of M. But every child, every person is not meant to go to college. And it's okay, because we have to have people who are roofers, carpenters, mechanics, skilled trades. We have to have those jobs, plumbers, electricians. Those are jobs that we need.
And I'm glad you said, because people do need to go. You can take that. Everybody not gonna be like a Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's other thing that kept the country going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Thinking you're gonna be. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody got their talent for other things.
And that's the thing.
But we need leadership like that. Like you said, these programs that should have been did. Look at all the money that then came in the Flint just with this
came
opera
and
money.
went right back out.
Was any of them programs started like that?
No, you know what they did, and I get the part. I worked in economic development. I get the part where you build up the nucleus. My thing is the people who we keep electing don't fight for us.
Facts.
They don't fight for us. And the money is there. When I go to these conferences, they're like, the money is there. Even the infrastructure money. We had money to wipe out the water bills. It was, I think, $35 million. It was set aside to pay for Flint's. Twice, two different ones. Another one's like $8 or $9 million. City of Flint didn't even apply.
Wow.
They didn't even apply. They set that money aside. And I said, and I asked for council, I make sure I put it on record. I said, why didn't you apply? She said, we didn't have anyone who could do the application. I said, what do you mean? We didn't have anyone. You pay someone.
Excuses.
That's underneath Mayor Neely. Why didn't he have the staff? Send it out. Have someone do it. You got all these people with these degrees. You can't nobody figure that out.
Excuses.
Listen, sit me in that room.
No.
I will be in there making calls. Walk me through it.
No, I don't trust who he picked.
Which one?
The CFO. When he come down there, when y'all be asking, he said, let's go with the Judy numbers.
Like I told him, Judy is not the CFO, Mr. Moore. You are. You are, not her. So, and I'm gonna tell you someone who probably could have did it. Faith Grossbeck. They fired her. Laid her off, took her laptop, her access card. Faith wrote 2 grants dealing with 2, and this is about a month ago, 3, maybe 3, 4 weeks ago, to start getting 50 in-home plumbing. Faith Grossbeck wrote this. They told Faith that do not work with Mayor Neely told Faith do not work with, and I said it during, council, 2 of the nonprofits because he didn't like the people, and he fired. They told her to turn in her stuff, and so she was getting in-home plumbing to begin as a pilot program to get 50 homes done. She also during those communications meetings Arthur Woodson, that volunteered to go get some paperwork, to look at the homes and then to sign. They told her, because at that point she needed someone, because she had already wrote the grants. She just needed someone to like get the signatures. And they told her, she couldn't work with him. And so, and to not use the two nonprofits. What happened to these people? Need new plumbing. They can't afford to get it done. He didn't give a damn about the people.
But that's what I'm
Fired
saying.
the woman. 50 people who had severe corrosion in their home.
Everything you
he
just
fired her.
How did his wife get reelected?
Name notoriety.
Unbelievable.
People don't do the research.
Unbelievable.
People don't do the research. So we have to, we have to start making sure we know who we're voting for and why. I am supporting, and we talk about election, Carol McIntosh. I don't believe in splitting the votes. I am supporting her. I know she's going to work hard. I don't even doubt that. When we talk about how do we move, the country forward, we got to start making smart decisions. It's not about me. I lost, and I've lost 2 races. I took my L's. My first race I lost when I ran for city council. I lost it. And then you know what I did? I called up and congratulated the 2 that went on, and I put my support behind them. I did. That's what you're supposed to do, because I love my city more than what I thought was going to be what I was bringing. I had a responsibility to still bring what I was going to do if I'm genuine in it. And I did. I got behind them. I lost the second race. Yeah, I did. And I kept going. I took my L in that one, and I kept going. And that's what you do. I took my L, I kept going, and I still helped in my community, because it's about the community. You can't, I didn't believe, and I'm gonna tell you, and I was told with one of them to do a write-in, and because I thought I wouldn't be able to get on the ballot. I was on the ballot 30 days before, and I had to sue the county clerk then, which was John Gleason. I had to sue him, and I won. And I thought that I was going to have to do a write-in campaign. I was told. So when I went through the process, they said, write-in campaigns, you don't win. You don't. Only person that they know that has won has been Duggan, and he's a millionaire. And he didn't do it I think the last one he did not. Then it was Reverend A.J. Pointer. They said he ran Flint's best, A.J. Pointer, but he had the whole church working for him. He did not win. You had Tonya Risen. They put Tonya Risen in the race to run against Eric Mays as a write-in. They put Tonya Risen in that race to run against Eric Mays as a write-in. They paid her and put her in that race. She didn't win. You had Stephen Barber. Stephen Barber got screwed. He did. His paper, they didn't tell him. They thought he was running in the 9th ward. Thomas, he didn't have enough signatures. Gloria didn't tell him. He ran as a write-in. He had the worst candidate ever he was going up against. But when you were write-in, because that was 9th ward, he still didn't win. He didn't win the write-in. So people have asked him before, would you run? He's like, no, I'm not running. I'm just here to help. I care about my community. So he's here to help. So I've been in that position where I literally thought I'd have to be a write-in. And I was like, you know what? I would be taking votes away from somebody else when you're serious about the work. So I know they put Tonya Risen in that race before to run against Mays, and it didn't. And she got money. Mays was saying she got the first drop of 10,000, then she got 10,000, then she got 5,000, and they paid for all of her literature. That's what he said. She didn't win. So she did not win. So I am supporting Carol McIntosh for the 1st ward. I know she will do the work. I know she's going to work hard for the residents. And we need 5 votes who are not wishy-washy votes, 5 people who are serious, 5 people who are committed to working for the residents. And that's what it's about, working for the residents. And that's the one thing that this campaign has understood and got it out. It's for the people. It's for the people. Everybody's coming together for the people. I got nervous when they said Biden. My daughter was like, I'm just not voting. And she has never said that. My kids, they know how I feel. But they just did not feel, for sure about Biden. Biden stepping aside, he chose country over power that he had. He had power as the president. The president is the most powerful person in the world. He is the most powerful person.
I agree with that, but I agree with you with that. He did, like
He
what
stepped
you said.
aside.
I do agree. He looked at the party and said what's best for the party.
Right.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
wasn't. I mean, it was gonna be people were saying they weren't gonna vote,
and
he was looking like,
because he didn't go eventually. He was like, no, he still got it. But as you start seeing people going away, but I do agree at the end of the day, when you sit down and said what's best, because if I think he'd have stayed in, Trump probably would have walked
Trump would
in.
have won.
He would have walked
He
in.
would have. He
So
would have. He would have had a
agree.
cakewalk.
Yeah, I do agree with you. With him doing, he did what was right for the party.
He did what was right, and sometimes it's hard when you say that, and especially him. And he's had I think he started out in his career as city council. He went on and worked his way up to, he was a senator. He did every job. It was vice president. He did was it Congress? He did everything that there was,
Right.
and Joe Biden had a life of public service. And for him, because there were people, the Democrats started calling him out. And that took a lot of courage to say, hey, they was calling Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe, you can't, their constituents were telling him, we're not supporting him. They didn't feel they could get a win. And so he stepped aside. And I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? Because they didn't say who they were going to replace. You would start hearing the chatter. But to step aside for the country, I mean, you look at the lives literally, because what they talking about reproductive rights and they want women back at home. I don't even know any housewives anymore. I don't. I was a housewife for a year and a half. It drove me crazy because I was used to working. I was like, one of us ain't gonna make it out this house. I'm like, I had to work. That's just me. But I think that for Joe Biden stepping aside and saying, I choose my country over everything, that means a lot. That means a lot. So I want to go on to, I'm going to skip on to, they're coming in. I had some great news. I want you to put up, there's an article about this building, about the apartment. I probably needed to send the picture, but it's a channel. We don't even have to play it. It's a channel 12. I had this building, 809 South Ballinger. This building, before I was even elected, was a problem. Literally, that one, yeah. Genesee County buys. It was a problem. When I say blight, the issue, I didn't think that probably in maybe my lifetime, because what this is what's been going through, that this building would ever see the day that it was demolished. And so when I got the call that the Genesee County the treasurer was buying the building, because we have been to court in my ward, the residents have been to court. We've been to the judge. We have written letters to the judge. I have had Communities First to contact them. I called him and I said, hey, Glenn, I need you to write a letter. He's like, for what? I said, I need you to write a letter because I'm taking a stack of letters to Judge Bell. I need you to write me a letter. What does it need to say? The importance of having this building down and what does it do to your property? And Joe Arnold, when he saw the article, he texted me immediately. He said, Tonya, it's coming down. I know you're glad. I had attorney Robert McDonald. He was going to him. He was doing free legal work. The city couldn't get it to come down or to get them to say, we can do it. Finally, 809 Ballinger is coming down. It is an environmentally unsafe hazard. It is open to the elements, to people who dump for illegal dumping. I'm so happy this is coming down. I don't know what to do. This was such a big thing for me in my ward because I started working on this and fighting with the residents to get this down. And what happened was the owners, so one owner sold the building to a property management firm, another owner. This owner changed names like 3 or 4 times. So when they sold it to the new owner over here, the new owner put out all the residents, put everybody out and said, we're going to renovate. Within a week, the building was set on fire. There was an insurance check. The insurance check had both of their names because they bought the building on a land contract. The owner had not completed all of the land contract payments. So technically the check would have gone back to the person who sold them the building. So they had been in court over this. So when the check came, the second person, or the person it was sold to, took the check, they said, and cashed the check. So it stayed in Judge Bell's court forever, and she refused to rule on it. And so my residents and neighbors, friends, or everyone in the 6th ward have been angry for about 7 years. It's been a while. And so this building is finally coming down. So it is, for me, a great day in the 6th ward when I heard that, because that building, it's dangerous, and it's right across from, it used to be Coolidge School. Coolidge has been redeveloped in my ward. And so Coolidge Place is a apartments, and then it has storefront also. And so they took an old abandoned school and they repurposed it. And this was, you could see from all the windows, you could see this that needed to come down. I believe McLaren Hospital, I heard they're interested, that they are going to, purchase it. I mean, can you play the video real quick? I was so happy to have it. It's coming down.
Hustle,
experience,
history,
grit,
integrity.
talent.
that's how we win games.
That's how we win cases.
That's the Bernstein advantage.
Best call you'll ever make. Call Sam.
What community members call a longtime eyesore on Ballinger Highway could soon be demolished in Flint. It comes after Genesee County commissioners voted to buy the blighted Ballinger Manor apartments. Our Alyssa Irwin joining us now in the studio. And Alyssa, the site located just south of McLaren, Flint, was foreclosed on actually a couple months ago.
Well, Matt, that's correct, but I'm told it took many years to get to that point. The first task was trying to find the property's owner, and that started over 5 years ago. A court battle further tangled up that process as more delinquent taxes continued.
There were 2 entities or owners who were fighting about who actually owned it.
Genesee County Treasurer Deb Cherry says that the battle dragged on and ended up in circuit court, all while the building remained vacant and blighted.
And because it was in court, we couldn't foreclose. So it's been sitting out there for, I want to say, at least 5 years in bad condition.
Until this year. Cherry says the county used delinquent tax funds to gain ownership of the property with a unanimous vote from the Genesee County Board of Commissioners, including Commissioner Charles Winfrey, who oversees this district.
We understand, the negative impact it had on that particular community.
6th Ward Councilwoman Tonya Burns says community members sent countless letters to the county hoping to make a change in this area as it became a site for dumping, vandalism, and general blight.
This is a major thoroughfare for travel for people with the corridor of Ballinger and Court Street and Corona Road. And having this down is one of the last things that needs to come down.
The hope is to demolish the building soon, creating a green space.
This is a great day for the 6th Ward because this has been a long time coming.
Cherry says McLaren Flint is interested because of its proximity to the property. The hope is for demolition to take place in the near future, followed by a possible former offer from McLaren. Here in the studio, Alyssa Irwin with ABC 12 News.
Are you worried that using your home address for business puts your privacy at risk?
So listen, it is a great day in this. I didn't think I would ever get that building to come down. And I want to say to all of my 6 Ward residents who wrote countless and countless letters, literally after that comes down, we're going to be at the site popping bottles. It's going to be a champagne toast because that is going to be coming down. I'm so excited about that. So excited. So as we look at the things that have been done in the 6th Ward, been able to get Ballinger paved. Ballinger was terrible right there by that Burger King. That has been paved. There's been some great things happening this year. They paved some roads, Thomas Street, Fremont, Orchard Lane over in my ward. I had Milbourne done. It's been some, I've been able to get some real work done. And I'm happy about that. Getting some sidewalks done. I was walking on a sidewalk downtown. I'm like, a big chunk of the sidewalk about that big was missing on 3 different squares. We definitely got to do better. So I'm happy about that, but that was some exciting news to have that to be coming down. I do want to, Mickey, I sent you, I think that, oh, can you put up the DNC? So the county signing off, that will, the county sign off to have that demo and taking those funds. It is great because we could not, the one with Neely, I'm gonna go on to that one next. And so I think that when we start working together, because literally, and thank you to Deb Cherry, the county treasurer, because getting that building down has been my ward. It's in my ward. We have worked on getting that down, begging them for years. And I appreciate, this is her last term. Someone else will have that seat as county treasurer. Come November, they will be electing a new county treasurer. And I appreciate her taking care of this before she leaves. I truly do, because my ward is saying that thing was dangerous. So when we talk about, working together, I wanted to play this because when we have people who don't work, and we go back to Patrick Jean's comment, where are elected people speaking up for us? We have a gun violence problem and an attack on children in our community, and they're not talking about it. So when we had the DNC party, and I'm gonna play this because people were like, Tonya, oh, did you forget what was said? Congressman Kilde's seat, I think is it Rivette? Is that the one? I think Rivette is running for his seat.
Yep, the river running for Kilde's seat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and so the UAW endorsed her. After that, I was like, pretty much, and then Dr. Pam Pugh, she was running. And I'm like, once they start putting them endorsements behind, that's the money. Those are not just local, those are county seats. And it takes money to win those seats because you have to money and hard work. And once they put all the money behind her, and I believe Congressman Kilde, they said he gave $14,000 in a pack to Rivette, and he endorsed her. Congressman Kilde endorsed her for his seat. So let's do the video because that, yeah. So Mayor Neely was upset that he didn't get that endorsement. So let's play that. It's a video. And listen, y'all, click like and share and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit the heart button on the YouTube side. Hit the like button or the heart button on the Facebook side. We need y'all to boost our algorithm. We need y'all to boost our algorithm. Nope, not that. The one you just had up, which was Neely. You had it up. Yeah, it was on the screen. Yeah. Yeah. And so when we look at this, we have, hopefully it'll be Rivette. She's the leader. She's the Democratic. She won for the Dems, and we're gonna have to start supporting. So I thought he was a little salty. He was a little salty on this, where he kind of went after the DNC. I'm like, You wonder why you're not around a part of the little party now. Probably because of these comments.
Hi, Tony Young here from Young Chevrolet. I hope everyone's having a great summer. If you're in the market for a new Chevrolet, stop in and see us.
C12, he is dropping out of the race to succeed outgoing Representative Dan Kildee for the 8th Congressional District. In a statement, Mayor Neely says, in part, quote, unfortunately, despite the impressive field of candidates that expressed their interest in running, it quickly became apparent that the Democratic Party did not intend for candidates to compete on an even playing field. Party leaders made it clear that they plan to stack the deck in favor of their preferred candidate. In doing this, they made it challenging for other candidates to compete. He goes on to say, quote, I plan to remain actively involved in these federal races. I intend on being vigilant and extremely engaged in ensuring that minority candidates are given a fair chance to compete. I will work to ensure the voters of this district have a fair opportunity to choose who they want representing them in Washington. As of now, there are 3 Democrats remaining and 4 Republicans who have qualified for the August primary. And the winners for each party will face each other in the November general election. For a list of those candidates and to read Neely's full statement, go to abc12.com.
I mean, okay. So I'm not feeling sorry for him because I'm gonna tell you in a minute. You can't say you want to be a minority or the Black race when you have not represented the Black people. You are the mayor of a Black city. I mean, you just can't. You just can't. I mean, I'm just saying. Now you concerned about minorities. Underneath his leadership, we got Black children getting shot. Where's your plan? What are you not just the plan? Implement the plan. I'm not understanding. Where's your comprehensive public safety plan? Dink Sosa put up a post and he talked about a curfew was enforced for Back to the Bricks for safety, but they won't enforce a curfew every day for the kids. I'm just saying. Only time the safety was important was to pretend to the outside people, because you don't enforce it every other day. You don't. I mean, come on. This dude is a liar, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I've talked about me working on the program with Pastor Lakes, a mentorship program. Guess who gave Pastor Lakes a call? I hadn't told you, had I? Mayor Neely. Now, he hadn't returned his call ever. So he calls him up. Pastor Lake meets with him. And Neely goes on to talk about me. And she used to work for me. Don't deal with Tonya. Tonya's being investigated by the FBI. Tonya this and Tonya that. I have nothing on my record, okay? I ain't trying. Look, orange is not going to ever be the new black, okay? He needs to stop. You call this man in your conversation, you talking crap about me still? And this ain't the only person he's done this to. He's whispered this in so many people's ears that don't be around Tonya. It's a weird obsession at this point. I quit working for the city in May 2020. It's a weird obsession when he's calling people in to talk about me. Look, bruh, it's weird. It's weird. And then to say, don't work with me to help the kids. Look, you should be helping. You the mayor. He should have a plan for these children when they get out of school, mentorship programs, education. He should be fighting the way for lead court. He should be making sure that we get training for the parents, education, help the dads and the moms, get them a skill, get them a trade. He should be working on beautification it's so many things he should be doing. But what is he doing? Making phone calls talking about Tonya Burns. Bruh, it's weird. I'm going to still do my program. Me and Pastor Lakes is cool. We cool. Ain't no problems with that. Then I have to, but I've dealt with this so many times, with people saying, what is wrong with him? I met with him and all he wanted to talk about was things about you. It's weird. It's weird. You call this man in and this is what you're talking about?
Crazy.
And it's funny because he was trying to shoot little negative shots up to Gracie Manuel when he was up there. I'm like, man, if you don't go somewhere in your two-piece Easter suit. And he was literally like crossing the line and then walking up. And I had to apologize to people, to voters for his behavior. He campaigned up to Gracie Manuel for Candace. He campaigned, he endorsed it. That's fine. That's your thing. But he kept like, if I was talking to someone, he would literally, Mickey, walk up and say, I'm the mayor. I'm the mayor. Don't listen to Tonya Burns. We don't want Tonya Burns on the. I said, I'm going to apologize for the mayor. He doesn't have any home training. He doesn't have decorum. I did. I absolutely did. You bring that to me, I'm going to bring that back to you. But I had to apologize for his behavior. I did. And he kept like, he would literally walk up there and in front of me, like give a flyer. And like he was going to out talk me. Bro, no. That's what we not going to do. No. And then he walked away. He talked some trash walking away. I'm like, you did it right. You walked away and said it. I'm like, how petty and childish. And I mean, it doesn't stop. So my program that I'm working on, Pastor Lakes, we're still working on it and it's going to happen. So it's a little deterrent that he thought it was going to work. God intervened and we still moving forward with the mentorship program for the young ladies and the young men. You stop nothing. You stop nothing. How are you going to be the mayor stopping somebody to help these kids who out here shooting at each other? I'm not understanding that. I'm not getting paid for this. I am not getting paid. And he out here trying to stop. We trying to help the kids. He's interfering with us helping the children. Interfering. This is his city. He should be doing something. He is. He calling people saying, don't work with Tonya Burns. You got a whole city and a whole crime uptick. Go write a comprehensive public safety plan. Hire a gang task force. You got stuff to do than to be calling up people telling them, don't talk to Tonya Burns. Don't work with Tonya Burns. Tonya Burns trying to get 5 people on there so we can do something for these residents. This is why local elections matter. They matter. So, who is Mark Hutchins? Mark Hutchins, unfortunately, in history. Okay, Mark Hutchins said Pastor Lakes won't do it. He said, unfortunately, in history, Pastor Lakes is going to take $100K in grant money and bye-bye Tonya. I hope not, but we will see. Pastor Lakes is not. Mickey over here saying, speak on the pastor.
No, Lakes ain't like
he
that.
Ain't like
and
that.
That's my barber. He ain't. Janard different. He ain't like how you might think he wanted them. He really for the people.
Say it again.
Yeah, no, he really from the people because Janard is one of us. If you knew him, you know what I'm saying? And he had to, I never try to explain nobody's story for him because I want everybody to tell their own story. But you know what I'm saying? He ain't cut like that, brother Mark. You know what I'm saying?
And if he was, I wouldn't be dealing with him.
Janard. And them pastors is learning that he not cut like that. He not from the side. Yeah, he not cut like that. He ain't cut like how
he for the people.
Yeah, that's what he for. He for the people.
And and I told you, and I have told the story. I went to his church one of the times, and they had like 19 baptisms. He's like, we had 19 baptisms, and your girl sitting back there saying, I hope they ain't gonna do these during church. 19 baptisms, because I stay for the entire service. I don't go in and leave. I go to worship. Okay, I go and I worship and sing off key with the praise group because I cannot sing. And I was like, and I was sitting there saying, I hope they ain't gonna do 19 baptisms. Then my next thought was, how he get 19 people to baptize and these churches are struggling? How? I went the next time. It was 22. I he get 22? This man is growing, and it's young people. He do 2 services.
Mhm.
Now, I like the 12:30 service because I'm into as I got older, I like to sleep in. So you ain't no reason to be late for the 12:30 service on Sunday when you're going to church. This man is the truth. If he wasn't, I wouldn't be bothered with him. And I don't think he would be bothered with me if I wasn't. And so we just kind of laughed about it, that he got the call, basically saying, if you ever want any help, from me, you got to basically not deal with Tonya Burns, which the mayor had said this to everybody. You have a whole city to run, mayor, and right now you're running into the ground. Now he need to be working on how do I build this community back up? Matter of fact, figure out you got a malware, you got a cyber attack. You got a whole cyber attack, and he worried about what I'm doing. Where services have been interrupted. We don't know when it's going to be brought back, and the FBI is working to fix it, to help, to assist, along with these companies. You got a whole issue, and you worried about a mentorship program that I'm working on with a pastor?
Mm.
Get your priorities straight. We still can't drink water from the tap. We have an uptick on violence in children. Children are getting shot. Period. The shooting in my ward yesterday. We have got a problem. You see so many homeless people walking. They turn those bus terminals in at night into like they sleep in there. Where you see them, where you wait in the bus, it's a shelter. You got a whole cyber attack, and you got your priorities. Your priorities are not together. They're not. So T from the D said he wants to cause division. Now I'm gonna play put out that Ombudsman. I saw that one. It's in there, Mick. I need you to put that one up. And that's gonna be the last one. The I watched that. That kind of broke my heart. No, it's you'll see it's an 810, but you'll see the picture. It's gonna be right back, beat by D. That one. So as we know, to set it up, the Ombudswoman was removed. Bless you. She was removed. And this is the removal where the Ethics and Accountability Board voted to remove her. And she has a contract. They stated that the attorney, the Kendall Williams firm, said that there's no such thing in the charter that states an acting or interim. Well, we have an acting or interim city attorney. We had a whole bunch of acting or interim positions, but now it's not. They're saying because the Ombudsman. Now that I think they call themselves wanting to follow the charter. Go figure. So she has a contract that says she is the acting or interim ombudsperson until one is fully hired and sworn in. They would never swear her in. Mayor Neely would not allow her to be sworn in with Attorney Kim. He would not. So she was never sworn in at all. Attorney Kim plays as their attorney on how to do stuff the wrong way. That was pretty much his job that he was doing. And so now they may have an issue. Not may, they do. Because she had a contract. They didn't know she had a professional service contract. We have not hired anyone. We have not sworn in an ombudsman. And they removed her. She has a professional service contract. So let's play what happened. And this was really sad. My heart went out to her because this was just not the way to do this at all. It was terrible. It was done terribly and it was done unprofessionally. It was unprofessional. So let's play that. Can you do it big on the thing? Based on the conversation that we have had with our attorney regarding what needs to be done at this point legally to protect the Ethics and Accountability Board from being found to have exceeded the scope of our authority.
Motion on the floor. I have a second. Support. Support. Discussion. discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote.
Okay, can you clarify the roll call vote? Yes or no, can you clarify the yes?
Yes is to remove, no is to not.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Joseph King,
Yeah.
William Harris,
Yes.
Rochelle Young,
Yes.
Dansler, Billy Dansler. No. Patrick Julian,
Yes.
Alicia. Okay, Williams.
Yes.
And myself, yes.
Okay.
So we have we have 6 yes
6 yes.
and 1 no.
The vote had to remove Ms. Hester from our vice president that passed board 61. Ms. Hester's a thing you have to take the board.
Mr. Chair,
That is not good.
did the motion carry? You just didn't say motion carried.
Oh, you didn't, I think there's 61.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I make a comment?
Yes.
So, Shaxter, I just want you to know this was a very, very hard decision for all of us. We all really like you. We understand that this is gonna be a hard transition for you. But it's something that we have been advised that we needed to do. I don't want you to take it personal, because it has nothing to do with you personally. But we have to follow the rules and we have to follow the law. And I just want you I don't want you to, I know you've hurt nobody, I can see it all over you, so I don't want you to take it personal, but it's just what had to be done.
So where does that leave me?
So may I respond?
Yes.
So we had a discussion, and it's our understanding that you were not interested in returning to the position of an analyst, nor were you interested in any other position. And based on that, the decision was made that we could only remove you at this point. Is that a misunderstanding on our part?
Yes, it is.
So then, are you interested in remaining in another position? Because we're open for a discussion on that if you are.
So what about the interim position?
So we have been advised, the charter specifically excludes the position of ombudsman for having an interim position. There are 3 positions that cannot have an interim: ombudsman, city attorney, and city clerk. And it specifically says that you cannot have that interim position. So that is not an option at this point. That was part of our discussion. So outside of that, are you interested in any other position, or?
I got it. I mean, it's my life to do it. I do my job.
So, well, without going into any details, if you're interested, then we would have Mr. King have a discussion with you, and he can bring it back to the board on what you guys are able to work out. And then the board can consider it and vote on it at that point in time. Nobody wants to see you without a job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman, just a comment. So when I come in tomorrow, what am I supposed to be? When the complaints come in tomorrow, what am I supposed to be?
I'm talking to you.
Wouldn't she revert back, Joe, question from Mr. King for you to the city attorney? Joe, would she revert back to her original position?
Well, I don't.
You back live.
Okay, so that was really hard. You can hear the ombudswoman, Mrs. Little. You can hear her, that she had been crying, and that is in her voice. And you can hear how upset she was. I mean, some of the stuff there you go. The stuff that they're discussing is stuff that should be done with HR. I don't think they understood their role as the board, and if she's going back, because that would go through the human resource department, and then to be discussing that open, that's not their job to do that. What do you want to go back and what do you want to do? That's not their job to do that. And then to have her to make a decision while she was being removed is under duress. Flat out. It's under duress. To have her make a decision and she's upset, they visibly can see she's upset and crying. We could hear it in her voice. And to have them saying to make a decision is crazy. And it's under duress. And they're discussing her employment at the table like it just wasn't anything. That was not the place to do that. That was not. I'll put up what did Mike Clack say. Most board members don't understand the role of board members. It is clear that they didn't know their roles. Mike Clack, you are 100% correct, because they were being the HR person. I don't know if the other one has a union too. I don't know. They were overstepping all their boundaries and then asking her to make a decision while she's under duress. They didn't understand that. It's not what you do.
Cold-blooded.
What you say? Me, it was cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded what they did. That was the
It
whole
was.
intention, and and you see what Doug. If you watch the letter, Doug lawsuit, what he put in there, it was the ombudsman job.
Yeah, and they didn't choose him. Just like he tried to blame Carol, but Carol wasn't even there. Carol didn't even vote for him to be ombudsman. She didn't even vote. She didn't even vote on that. And how they did Shaxter was terrible. That should have been a closed executive session. That I felt humiliated her. I feel it embarrassed her. It was allowed to be recorded. That should have been done in private, not publicly, and to have her there and try to have her make decisions under duress, and them not knowing she had a professional service contract.
But this is the type of mayor and leadership and administration that you're dealing with. Like, if you're not for him, he will embarrass you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
will cost you your job.
Listen, I worked for him, and then when I was done, I got fired every day, weekends, holidays, and sometimes twice a day. And so did Murdoch. They were calling us Day and Craig, okay? Because I wasn't going to go along with the craziness. I don't do that. I don't believe in having people work in a hostile environment, right, working underneath the auspice of a threat. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to lie to people for you. I'm not going to do any of that garbage. And I didn't.
But you see how Doug called himself, pulling himself off of that when he put that letter that.
Oh, he flipped that on him.
He flipped that right on now. I want to see how they like that now. Y'all did everything he wanted y'all to do, and he said he didn't want y'all to do that.
That part. And so they were manipulated. He manipulated the heck out of them. He did. That removal should have been done in executive session behind closed doors, if they were going to do it, and in private. Not the fact that she got a contract and they didn't even ask, hey, simple thing. Let us see her contract, because anybody who works for the city, even when I worked for the city, I had a professional service contract.
Right.
And so your professional service contract tells you, what your term of employment is and yada, yada.
And what people got to understand, this was the lady, Miss Trachelle Young. I'm not saying what she might be as an individual, but far as in this political space, in this game that she playing, she was going to run for prosecuting attorney. These are the type of people who be getting in these positions for Flint, and we wondering why Flint is where it's at.
And I think, and that was a tough one. How people, when we're a Black community, If everybody in Flint voted, because we're the largest population in Genesee County, she could have, she had the majority vote. We only had 7% of the people in the city of Flint who voted. But if Flint voted, let's say 80%, and they voted Black, she would have won.
I'm glad they didn't.
Flint does not show up to vote.
I'm glad they on
and
this
we got to
one.
change that.
Yeah, but I'm glad on that one they didn't.
Listen, if I run for something else, I'm going to have to run for my seat in 2 years. I need everybody to show up to vote for me.
I know I might be saying a little harsh, but I'm just being honest on that. And I'm not saying them, but look how she just did Miss Shasta Little. Sometimes when people show you who they is, and she's been, don't get me wrong, she'll probably do her job good at blocking because that's all she ever did. How many times before Carol was off the board that she was getting them love letters never got sent? This what Trishelle Young was in front of. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a lot of them people that's on that board to vote it, and it might get me in trouble. All them 6 who voted. It's impossible.
Was it 6?
Yeah, it was 6-1. It's hard for me to see y'all on other boards. I'm just telling you how I see it.
Oh,
it's hard for me to see y'all in other situations when this is showing me how you plan. I don't care how nice individual you might be, but when it come down to how they play, this making me look how you can run for other situations. That's just my humble opinion.
When Shaxter said, "What am I supposed to be when I come back to work? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be?" They left her, and they're not the HR department, with 100% uncertainty under duress to try to make a decision. That was crazy. That was just crazy. The fact that she had never been sworn in, the fact that the mayor has put a camera out there with audio and right over the door of her office to see who's coming and going, is crazy. The role of the ombudsman is to where if you have a complaint or issue, you can talk to them in privacy. Shouldn't be monitored who's coming and going. Should not. But hey, listen, I'm gonna pause for a second. Look, we got 184 people on here. If y'all could please donate to Cash App, $810 News Media Group. These shows are brought to you by donations. I get no compensation whatsoever. It is just for basic functions so that we can function, and 810 News Media Group can present shows like this for equipment. Then there's rent, basic things, and to go to travel to places to give you the coverage of things we wouldn't normally see. Just like in City Hall, if it wasn't for 810, there would be no coverage. Why? City Hall's cameras and networking system have been compromised because of the attack on it, the cyber attack. And so when you have an independent network news like 810 News Media Group, this is why we need them. We need them, one, because they're allowed to get things out that we wouldn't normally get talked about or in the news. And it's important. I'm a news junkie. I love news, whether it is written news, if it's the New York Times, the Flint Journal, CNN, and for kicks, sometime I watch Fox News just to see what the other side is saying. The Young Turks, I've watched them since my daughter turned me on to them. So I'm asking y'all if you can donate to Cash. It can be $5, as low as $5. Donate to 810 News Media Group. Every little helps. Every little bit helps and allows us to be able to have funds so that we get to the places that they need to go to, so they can bring you the news and to bring you the Ethics and Accountability Board. They can bring you the City Council. You get your independent shows, Trevor's Rant, Community's First, Community Conversation with Carol, the Morning Bump every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. You have Flint United on Fridays with Sister Audrey's show, but she has a special guest, Elliot McCants, on Sunday with Elliot McCants. And so you have these different shows. So if you can donate to Cash App, $810 News Media Group, 810 News Media Group. So we're gonna leave that up, but I want to get back to when Shaxter said Miss Little, and Miss Little is not my relative. I know they've tried to say she is a relative. Little is her name. She is a married woman. Her husband is not any kin to me, and neither is Miss Shaxter Little. But hey, we'll take her on in our family. I know the lie had been put out there that something I was doing with the with the with the ENAB board, and I have wanted Shaqs to live. I had no bearing on that. She is not a relative. Neither is her husband. I had no control over any of that. Not at all, because my family's last name is Little. Little is a common name. It's a common name, like Green, Brown, Smith, Johnson. It's a common name, and so, Doug had kept saying she was my relative. No, she's not. But, as I've stated before, we'll take her. Everybody welcome. Everybody's welcome. But to hear her say, "What am I supposed to be when I come in tomorrow?" Who can work underneath those type of working conditions? They at this table were making and wanted her to make a decision with her livelihood. That was terrible. That was terrible. That was terrible. So, let's see, okay, what is a cyber attack, or was it Paul's contraption? Cyber attack is they had someone come in. The county had one in McLaren where they, I believe it's a malware, but they took over every system in the city hall all of our computers, phones, all of our networking systems. They can't use. They're getting them up slowly as they're trying to remove. I don't even think they can remove, because what I have been told, we couldn't use our email. Now they're saying our laptops, that we have to get new laptops. So y'all know my laptop never worked for some reason, because I always had in there other user. I have to go back and log on to the city system anyway. So now they're saying we have to get new laptops. So we can't log on to anything using the city internet, because it's just like the county. I think the county was at 3 or 4 weeks, about 2 or 3 years ago. It was before Dominique Clemens was the clerk. They had been they had a cyber attack, and so Flint had the same thing. McLaren was dealing with it also. So, and listen, if y'all need to still click like, share, and subscribe. So there's a lot of things that are happening. So I want to say to this, because we're not going to be on here. The joke is always, I'm going to be on here 10 to 9 or 10 to 8, and I'm not today. I'm not, but I need y'all to share this, to click like, share, and subscribe, and hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Mickey, is there anything you want to say?
No, ma'am. I said everything I needed to say.
Okay, no name said. I think suspicious that this attack happens during Dale's recall. And I don't know how her recall is going. I don't know how that's going. Beverly turned in 1,236 signatures. She needed 751. The county clerk had my condolences to Dominique Clemens. He lost his father, so he had to bury his father this week. A loss of a parent is difficult. And so the clerk's office, Beverly has not received a yay or a nay or anything as of yet. I'm quite sure she'll probably come on the bump. She seems to be comfortable on the morning bump. I know that's something that Winters is going to have, or Winters like it hot off the press. So she definitely it'll probably be told on the bump. And so that's probably how everyone will find out. But I don't think Beverly has gotten a number yet. To date, she has not. So I don't know how that's going. So anyways, I want to thank everybody wherever y'all are. And this show is about y'all. It's about everybody who comes. And I want to leave with this, where I don't remember who said it. Was it Michelle Obama, who was just awesome? She lit the place up. She did. One thing we need to do, like they said, was it Obama, President Obama, who said, do something. Do something. Don't sit at home and do nothing. Do not sit at home and do nothing. Get out and vote. It's too much at stake. It is too much at stake. And it's so serious that a sitting president in power, Joe Biden, stepped aside because it was country over the politics and over the power he had. So do something, and don't just hold it to yourself. We need to be telling our kids, our nieces, our nephews, if they're 18, take them to register to vote. You can register to vote at the Secretary of State. You can register to vote at the city clerk. Make sure they're registered to vote. Do something. Do something. Don't dare sit there and do nothing. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, Mickey. I want to thank everybody again, and we are going to sign off. Again, Michigan, Tonya Burns is supporting Michigan for Harrison Walls. That's who I am supporting. I am supporting them, and I was gonna take today off. And look, y'all, I'm gonna put this up again. Look, oh God, my little medal, y'all. Yeah. So, anyways, I wanted anything you want to close out with, Mickey.
Nope, just have a safe weekend.
Have a safe weekend. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of good things that are going on. There's a lot. I want everyone to have a great weekend. I am going to have the rest of my great weekend. And Jerry Winfrey Carter and if I don't know, Stephanie Rogers gonna call me at 5:58 a.m. Jerry come calling it. Was it 7:50 something this morning? My friends y'all gonna be on punishment. Calling me that early. Me and Winfrey Carter, we was on the phone for about an hour, and she was mad. I gotta have her on. I'm gonna have to have JWC on next week. I'm gonna have to have her on. So that's that. I'm gonna ask her if she gonna come on next week. Don't call me that early. She was lit. She was mad. And you need to say on your show to let these people know. I was like this. I'm like, girl. So, anyways, I'm gonna send love out to everyone. Enjoy y'all weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Tell somebody that you love them. And look, do something. Register somebody to vote. Do something. You got to vote. Don't dare stay home and do nothing. Do something. We out of here, y'all.